I greet you, dear viewer. Today is on Friday, 10th June, the year 2022. We are 10th week in the ordinary time. My name is Somebody Alex, and welcome to BEA-M Media. This is our show, Saints Pedagogy. Today, we start by discussing the theme, naming after saints. That's what I'd like us to have a look at today. And if we can try to ask ourselves, why do we call them saints, first of all? The title saint denotes a person who has been formally canonized, that is officially and authoritatively declared a saint by the church as holder of the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and is therefore believed to be in heaven by the grace of God. And why do Catholics name after saints? It is believed that the saint whose name is chosen will serve as a special patron to protect, to guide, and be the heavenly intercessor for the individual who bears his or her name. So they're very, very paramount in our daily living, in our Christian ways. At all times we have to embrace them, and a challenge to each and every one of us. Do you know the meaning of the name of your patron saint? If we can try to challenge ourselves as Christians, as baptized Christians, you called Alex, you called Peter, you called Bernard. What does that name mean? And what does that patron saint did? You can say that I'm named after Alex, and Alex did this and this and this. So it's a challenge to each and every one of us to keep digesting it and know what the name of your patron saint mean. I think we've been challenged today. And are all Catholic churches named after saints? Actually, Catholic churches have continued to be named after saints and martyrs. That's why no Catholic church in the world can be named. For example, in Nairobi, you cannot get a church named Wayakwe Catholic Church or Fangano Street Catholic Church. Churches are named after saints. We have St. Peter, we have St. Mary's, and many more other churches. They are named after saint. Okay, naming of a church means it has been dedicated to the patronage of that saint whom it has been named after. And the same naming rules in the Roman Catholic Church apply to most Anglican churches and to actually many Lutheran churches. So it is paramount to understand this, that naming of after saints is very, very crucial in the Catholic Church. Today is a great day. We're celebrating a great figure in the church. Today we're celebrating Saint Tertullius and companions, three great companions who did a lot during their time. So brothers and sisters, I'd like to invite you to listen to her short story. Saint Tertullius, actually the husband of Saint Symphorosa, had been an officer in the Roman army under Trajan and Hadrian. Upon his conversion to the Christian faith, he resigned his commission and withdrew to his estate in the Sabine Hills near Tivoli, Italy. Here he lived in seclusion, surrounded only by a little band of Christians whom he taught and supported. He was one day engaged in instructing some of his people when he was surprised actually by a visit from Sererius, the imperial vicar, who had been sent to arrest him. Incidentally, Sererius himself was won over to the faith as a result of conservation with Tertullius and within his brother Amantius, who thought an ardent believer, still remained a tribune in the Roman army. As soon as the emperor learned of what had taken place, he ordered the consul Lunicius to apprehend the three men and to condemn them to death unless they consented to abjure their faith. You can imagine. They were brought before the consul, who ordered them, whereupon they were imprisoned for 27 days at Tivoli and subjected to diverse forms of torture, to no avail at the end of it all. They were finally beheaded and burnt at the stake of the Via Salaria. With them perished another Christian named Primitivus, and the relics of these saints were buried by Saint Symphorosa in an arenaeum upon her estate. So the great figure in the church, the three companions who worked a lot, but they did not waver. At the end of it all, we see them being beheaded because of their staunch faith they had. So as we have seen is that St. Tertullius served as an officer in the Roman army. You can see his spiritual path, how he started. At the end of it all, we see him a saint. And he resigned his duties upon conversion to the Christian faith. So sometimes this metanoia, this change, when it comes, it's unstoppable. When the change to serve in the church comes, sometimes you cannot stop it because you're not the one who instigated it. It's God himself. So God can guide you at all the tempest moments to ensure that you get to the point where he wants you to be. So sometimes we tend to give up without knowing that the mission which has been started in us, it is that God has started it, and we should not say no to it. With us, we have to say yes. As the Blessed Virgin Mary said yes, and it happened. So we can see St. Tertullius serving in the army. At the end of the day, he has converted to the Catholic faith and is becoming a saint at the end of it all. He was apprehended and condemned to death unless he consented to abjure his faith. He was a very staunch, Christian. He did not abandon his faith. Sometimes when we are threatened, we're going to be killed, we go as far as saying that we don't know the Catholic faith. But he has taught us something today, that we have to be firm, we have to be strong when it comes to matters of faith. That's why even in our neighboring country, Uganda, we have martyrs, Uganda martyrs. They did not say we don't know God. They said here we are, and they were killed because of their faith in God. Actually, most of the saints, that's what they did. They stood firm to defend their faith, and that's why at the end of the day they were elevated to be the saints, and that's why each and every day we seek their intercession. St. Tertullius, he was forced to renounce his faith, but he failed to do so. Then he was imprisoned for 27 days and subjected to diverse forms of torture. He underwent a lot because of saying, I'm not going to say no to Christianity. But that one did not threaten him at all. St. Tertullius, Mantius, and Cerealis were finally beheaded and burnt at the stake of the Via Salaria. Indeed, they were very firm when it came to their faith. They did not waver. They carried on up to the end. A challenge to each and every one of us as Christians, as Catholics, and as people of God. So sometimes when we are challenged, do we say no to Christianity? Do we say no to our faith? And it's a challenge. Actually, a word to ponder as we end this week. So, brothers and sisters, I believe that St. Tertullius has taught us a lot from his strong faith. St. Raphaela Mary Porras writes, "Is there anything that a generous heart will not willingly suffer on contemplating Jesus crucified?" We can see a lot from St. Tertullius, whom we were celebrating today. So do we see anything which we can suffer off as Christians? So it also calls us to surrender to everything so that God can guide us and take us through. So brothers and sisters, thank you for watching and following right from here, BEA-M Media. You can get us on our Facebook and YouTube. Just go to BEA-M Media. You can be able to get us. You follow, you subscribe, you like, and you comment. And also on our website, you can get us on www.beammedia.com. My name is Alex. Have a blessed Friday.